Greetings JTS Panzer Campaigns players to my Scheldt 44 playthrough of scenario 10.16.01 Venraij. Everything is quite bloody. The Battle of Venraij took place on the 16th of October 1944 and was a combined British and US attack. It was a vicious battle through mud, rain and landmines against a determined enemy. If you'd like to read the full briefing, press pause now. Quite a comprehensive list of options that are set for this scenario. The weather, as you would imagine, is mud and visibility down to 1 kilometre. The victory conditions: we need to get 601 points for a draw, 801 for minor victory and 1000 points for a major victory. There are 6 victory locations on the map. The central location is Venraij, and that is 500 points, and the other 5 victory locations are 100 points each. So it looks like we have to capture Venraij and at least one other, or the 5 100s and a bunch of kill points to gain victory in the game. The starting position has the British units with the tan colour in the north, the American units coming from the southwest with the green, and the initially spotted German units in the blue. A quick word about movement in mud conditions. Track vehicles are penalised at 300% of the normal rate of movement, so a clear hex goes from 6 to 18 for instance. Motorised, as you would imagine, is probably the most penalised at 400%, so clear movement goes from 12 to 48, and foot movement is 200%. So that certainly is going to be a major factor in moving around the battlefield, so it's going to be a fair old slog. The starting position sees our British units opposite a minefield and 2 of the 100-point victory locations, and the Americans further to the south. Interestingly, most of our units are fixed. So to view their release dates, go to Units Releases, and that will give you the schedule of when the various units will be released to us. We have a goodly amount of artillery available to us, and an interesting range of units. The Churchill 4 has an assault value of 9, which is 1 less than the infantry. Its hard attack value is quite reasonable at 15 from 2 hexes. I'm hoping in the assaults it proves to be a little more durable, although slightly less in assault value. Nonetheless, I'm hoping it'll be more durable, say, than the infantry, so there'll be a infantry Churchill mix, and that's how the Churchill was designed, primarily as an infantry support tank. The other vehicle which is very interesting is this special vehicle, or AVRE, which has an assault value of 19, so I'm certainly expecting some good things from this vehicle in the assault role. The other vehicle which is very interesting is this one here, the Sherman Crab. I believe the item on the front was called a flail, which was used for mine clearing, and indeed that's what I see its first role being, clearing mines, and we'll be trying to protect them because they could be useful further into the campaign, because the briefing did mention plenty of minefields. So another crab. Engineers will certainly be in the action, getting through the minefields, etc. This unit here, I thought, oh, he'll be good value. The machine gun unit has a soft factor of 8 and a range of 2, but given visibility is down to 1, that'll curb their influence, I suggest. Another thing I was thinking might be very interesting was some of these guys are patrolling on foot. So when they end the patrolling on foot, it's one to guard against partisans, so perhaps there could be some Axis partisan type units in this scenario. And secondly, they're quite useful in that they have a range of 2 for spotting, which I thought, oh, that's very handy. But of course, in the current weather conditions, they're like any other infantry unit. They only have 1. But perhaps, well, we won't know until we bump into some Axis partisans whether there are those type of units on the map. Down south, the American units, a Greyhound, quite a useful vehicle in the recon role. The good old M10, a lot of hitting power there, hard factor of 31, and the ever-present Sherman, hard factor of 19 and 20 against soft at a range of 2, so certainly a very handy vehicle. A very interesting Priest, M7 Priest, and it's known by a different name with the British forces, the Sexton. The main difference between the vehicles is that the British swapped out the main gun for their 25 pounder, mainly because it was easier to resupply the unit as they had 25 pounder anti-tank guns. And the last factor we'll have a look at before getting into the action is the view local supply values. Perhaps you can see the numbers a bit more clearly on this screen. A lot of these numbers are reasonably low, given the perfect supply would be 100. So this reflects the fact that the Allies did have supply issues at this stage of the war. Okay, so let's have a look at our starting position. An interesting gap here in the minefield, perhaps inviting us to attack through there, or perhaps it was a gap in the minefield to let their vehicles through back when they were laying these things. No doubt at these 100-point locations we would expect them to be defended. So at this stage we could think about doing a broad push against the front here, but I'm going to concentrate my initial attack against this 100-point location here. Perhaps it's called Brabander. So rather than try and have dual areas to try and focus our forces on, no doubt it'll be repeated attacks, so I'll need to cycle through fresh units. So just attacking in one spot I think will probably be to our advantage in the medium term, and getting through these minefields. So let's grab our infantry unit. You can see here the yellow font indicates they're on foot at this stage. I found it curious that this unit here also says he's on foot and has the yellow font, but he actually has the on foot. So I don't know whether that's a bit of a programming issue. So just in case, we'll go command, go on foot. We'll stick him out there. Don't think there's anything else I can do. Okay, so we've managed to spot the 344th Independent Division, or is it Infantry Division? I said something in the briefing. And okay, the very capable 8.8 centimetre flak gun, the perhaps infamous 88. So extremely powerful unit, and one that we'll certainly have to pay particular attention to, and we certainly don't want to get our Sherman crab with visibility down to 1 hex. I think it's a reasonable risk to have a go at putting our crab out to this square here. It's a 50-50 bet as far as what is in this square here, but we'll have a punt there. Right, so at least he got out there, so he's a chance of clearing that hex for us. So infantry unit. So before we put a unit out here, I suppose we could put some artillery on this guy here, or we could try and put some artillery on our 8.8, because the best way to knock these things over is with artillery. Okay, well, let's have a look at our artillery. Now this guy is trench, 40% trench. So this chap here is 40% trench and 20% broken terrain. And these guys are 60%. So perhaps this guy might be worth trying to take out, and this square here may in fact become a focal point if we can move him with artillery as far as running an assault against, given that he has the lowest defence of the three that we've seen to date. In many ways I'd rather try and kill that anti-tank gun, the 88. So as you can see, artillery can certainly keep their heads down, but so that's 3 lots of heavy artillery. Increase their fatigue, but that's about it probably, and half a dozen men. So once again we have a bit of a punt. We know this one, we don't know that square there. If we move our crab out to here, okay, we'll do that. Oh, 1 vehicle, I'm not happy about that at all. So we have run up against another famous German weapon, the Pak 40. Against hard targets has a 28 at 2 hexes, so very potent. Against soft, 15 at 2 hexes, so a weapon to be respected. Now, given that it's opposite our crab, I'm pretty keen to blat this guy with artillery. It'd be nice to at least disrupt this chap if we can. Oops. This guy, yep. Cannot be spotted by subordinate unit. Dang. So I think I've fired all my purple ones. Well, at this point, I'm going to go all in on my engineers. Go on foot. Now, because he's a green guy, these artillery units now will be able to see or spot for the artillery units. So we've put some fatigue into him. He's only a 40%er as well, so only 40%. So there you go. We'd love to get a disruption happening. Not yet. Not yet. Oh, one's better than... Oh, there was only one gun in fact there. Or perhaps there was two and we knocked them out with the last of our artillery, so that was very fortunate. So that gives us a great chance there of clearing mines with both of our engineers there. Perhaps I could have used that engineer over there. So now we've identified two hexes with only 40%. This guy's in a forest, so he's 30% straight up. And you can bet that it'll be some sort of, if these are fortified, he'll be fortified. So that's going to be, hopefully we can go around something like that, surround him. Okay, so reasonable start to date. So we haven't achieved a disruption of these guys, but that'll be our next goal. This poor old infantry unit here, I'm not game to attack him in case he fires back at me. Right. So a lot of questions here. We obviously don't put a Churchill in there because the 88 will chew it up. Do we provide some sort of support for our clearing mines? But then we're going to take some mine casualties. Playing as a Russian player, you're sort of used to pushing your infantry through mines. But Zhukov was interesting in this regard. He insisted all these infantry battalions and divisions, etc., had mine clearing expertise, or they were trained in mine clearing, so they didn't have to wait for the engineers. So while they certainly did push their people through minefields, nonetheless they did try and provide them with expertise to defuse them. A lot of different stories about this sort of stuff. So I'll be British and I will be patient with these chaps. Now these guys down here, we've got a chap over here. Now we have our Sexton, of course, and our 25 pounders here at the back. So for us to spot this unit, we're going to have to get this chap. I'll take him off patrolling, so toggle patrolling. He's still on foot, so I'll get him to play in the minefields. Oh. Okay, so taking him out of patrolling mode means I now don't have the... Oh no, yes I do. I've got to put him in transport mode because there is a bridge there. So we move him out. He should be able to move 12. Yeah, 7 men. So that's the cost of getting out there. Now this chap is just in a trench at 40%, and as we've learnt, that's pretty tough, but what can you do? Do we fire them all? I think we do. Even on the exchange. Unfortunately, this guy has the range of 2, but we can't use it in current conditions. So, what I'm going to try and do is my very precious engineers, put him in there, get him to clear that mine there. The plan will be to move my tanks through here, out to there, get some leverage on these guys. With a bit of luck, get rid of these guys, perhaps try and push through here, give us access to this side, but obviously the Germans have quite a compact defence here, so I'm expecting the defence to be layered, as is the Germans' way. The British preferred having more people forward at this stage in their technique. So consequently, they probably lost more people with artillery, whereas the British artillery tended to focus on the forward edges of the German positions, but the Germans had learnt from the Eastern Front to have defence in depth, which now is SOP for just about everyone. So this guy here, can he move across there? Okay, that's good. Okay, the headquarters unit, I'll move him across there. I am tempted to move this chap out, but until I do something about that 88, I think I've got to be a bit cautious, a bit British perhaps. So we have patrolling on foot and an engineer. So the engineer, my plan is to move him into this one here, and he can start clearing the mine there, and then travel over here, clear these mines here. The rest of the units here, you can see they're all fixed. So this guy here, we'll put him in transport mode so he can move across the road, across this swamp area. Our 2 vehicles can go into transport mode similarly. Oh. So this is broken terrain. But I would have thought, being in transport mode there, I would have been able to move in transport, so must have made a mistake there somehow. Secondary road should be 15. Which is the interesting point about movement here, because we have the F4 road stacking limit of 350. So essentially we have 380 just over the stacking limit. Not sure why there. We'll have to take it on face value at the moment. Excuse me. We fired all. Have we fired all our artillery? Oh, we have our M7 priest down here, but H. Oh, he can reach over there. I'd be interested to see if the American unit can actually fire on these guys. Okay. He's can only support the American units. So that's the H key. So that's it. AI. I'll change that back to turn that off so we can see what's happening. So a promising turn one, perhaps a bit cautious, but we'll see what happens. Don't break. If the mine clearers get disrupted, they then don't clear the mines. Oops. I'm presuming that's our foot-based engineers. Oh, another vehicle down. Disrupted, no. One gun. It's always good to see an 88 go down. Another one disrupted. Okay, it's not all bad news. We've had our Americans have been successful, and one of our Britishers have been successful. Oh, those guys over there. Right, so our two guys out the front were disrupted, so that's not a great result for us. Okay, so let's have a look at the damage. Oh, our on-foot guys actually hung in there. He just didn't get a decent roll to clear the mines. Okay, so if we're disrupted, we can't clear mines. Oh, both of them. Well, that was unfortunate. You can move to there. So I just need a bit of thinking time up there. Now you just know that oh, it's a minefield as well. Well, I can't get my engineers to be in two places at once, so do I take them back and clear that spot? Probably should, but ouch. So at least now we can use our sexton, some compensation, our correction priest. All of one man. Actually, I might do those one at a time. 22 versus 15-1. Okay. Tally ho. Now, of course, our Sherman can only see one spot, so he's got to join the mine brigade. Ouch. I'm going to move him back there. Don't really want to. Well, I think I'll have to. Okay, so it's giving us some interesting decisions, isn't it? So this guy here, can we move him out of here and take him out of disruption? Or take him out of transport anyway. Well, before we do that, oh, unavailable, fixed, okay. Okay, so on foot. Who do we move first? Maybe move that one. And because it's forest, I can only move one hex. That's just bad luck. So at least I'll get there the next turn. Now comes the big one of the tyre business. Well, oh, that's excellent news. They're both disrupted. But I want to destroy at 88. We'll kill two guns now. I think until we really defeat these guys, now sometimes I forget to do this, and it's particularly particularly important in this scenario, because sometimes the visibility does vary, but we're still at 1. So just how many guns does he have in there? Oh, he's disrupted as well. I really need a victory on these mines. So what we might do is withdraw our disrupted unit. Oh, do I put a... Do I risk a church? Oh, I should have kept firing until I was finished there. It's often a mistake. If you move away before you've finished using your artillery, you need to get someone else in there to spot. So you guys are next into the cauldron, just in case there is some value there. No effect. 1 gun. It's mildly encouraging. One gun. Come on. Fatigue. Okay, I'm going all in. One gun. Okay, well we've knocked out 4 or 5 guns there, so that's something. Well, that's the best I can do, Mr. Churchill. And infantry. Ooh. Right. So move him into there. Can he join in? I normally wouldn't use my machine gunners in that sort of role, but Assault 7, that's acceptable. So the big plan there is if we can, we might be able to do an assault on this square here next turn. In the meantime, another gun, that's good. So it always makes me happy to see an 88 go down. This chap here, gonna have to withdraw him to get some repairs. He's still clearing mines, and this guy here, I think I'll have to withdraw him because he can't clear mines while he's disrupted. So do we say full speed ahead, dam the icebergs, and throw these 3 guys onto the minefield? Okay, we're going in. still operational. He's disrupted. Do we do the same thing here? Just go for broke. Okay, big assault next turn. Right, so all our artillery's been fired, fixed. Hello, he hasn't. I missed that one. So who was the most important one to... Our guns. It would be nice to quieten this guy down, but... Oops. Oh, one gun. Well, we're slowly chewing through them. In a pretty good spot here to take this. He's only in a 40%er. He's in a 40%er. These two guys are disrupted in a 60er. So hopefully we can take out at least 2, and if not 3. Pretty sure we don't have any other artillery to fire. No, we don't. And of course no aircraft. So I'm wondering what I'm missing here. I wonder, are they fixed? Okay, can't do anything with them. They're all fixed behind. Our Americans have been mined. This guy's on his way. Well, that's it. Here we go. So the don't disrupt. Well, it looks like amongst the action, the last of the 88s might have been destroyed, so that's a bit of good news. Ooh, 10 men, that's a bit rich. So here we go. So we've got this guy on foot. So we got one of those fields cleared. Mind you, we had to run over them, and another one cleared. 3 out of 10 out of command, 3 unavailable, 2 low, 4 out of 6. Okay, so 3 of 25. Let's have a look. Oh, a pretty good result there, none disrupted. Wow. So all in all, that was a pretty good result. We managed to reduce the last of the 88s, although this guy is going to be difficult. So is this guy. He's disrupted and he's not. Rats. It would have been nice to have had this chap here disrupted. We've got one disrupted, so that gives us a bit of a chance. Our guy here, oh, it's to be expected, I suppose. Being in a minefield can't be much fun. Running out, turn 3. Right, I'm still going to persevere with my demining plan here. This guy, I might try and get him to move over and give some multi-nation support. We can move these guys out of transport mode. Right, so at least that allows us to use our M7. Oops, if I select him. Okay, so this guy is in a village which is a 30% defense. A soft target. So when it comes to soft targets, the Sherman is best. What is our visibility? Weather. Still 1 kilometre. So we're going to have to another one. Einsatz Division, the infamous Einsatz. Okay, and he's in a 40%er. So in fact we're better off trying to take on the village. Because we're not green, we can't assault, so but we can still put a few rounds in. Check our fixed units. No real change there, it looks like. Okay, so these guys here. I doubt if we can, even though we're green here, I doubt if we could really need to save my artillery, I think, for these guys along the front. So we'll come back to this one here. Keep moving up Monty. Well, the Monty look-alike perhaps. Now, still disrupted, and he's not. Right, so another of the infamous Einsatz division. 70%, 40% in the trench, 30% in the forest, so almost immune to artillery. Okay, this guy, as we said, he's a 60. He's a 60. Right, and these guys are the 40%ers. So, first thing I'd like to do is disrupt this chap here. Two men for all that. No, he's just not going to disrupt, is he? Wow, and that's only 40%. Jeez. Not giving up. It would be nice to know some of their fatigue rates and things, such as life fixed. So I better give this guy a bit of love. Unavailable. Unavailable. Right. Now, these guys here, unavailable. And available, that's good. So, the big one of the tie business. So we've got to go for this disruptor guy. These ones for low ammo, but I think we should commit him. I think this guy could be the ace in our sleeve. Okay, costs us a vehicle, but we've crashed through. This chap here, low ammo, but we're going to commit here. Don't disrupt. 10, it's pretty expensive. Rightio, so away we go again. IJsselsteijn. So, pretty expensive. Oh, he wasn't disrupted. That's right. I didn't disrupt him. In that case, I'm going to be a little bit British and be conservative. Oh, he didn't clear the mine yet. Gee. One vehicle. They're fired. Okay, so I really need the 100-point victory location and or this one here. If I can take this one the next turn, that means he's surrounded, so he won't last too long. But I definitely need one of these two. Now back here we were looking at this chap here, and given our performance against how expensive it is against undisrupted units, we'll go the British route and be somewhat conservative. Our Americans have fired and moved, so that will be it for turn 3. So let's move along. No artillery left. Don't need to do that. Okay, where we go. Oh. Right, so there we go. The end of Turn 3, beginning of turn 4. We seem to have had some more mines cleared. Half our headquarters are out of command. 2 out of 8. So as we go into turn 8, we've certainly made some forward progress, but it's been a fair cost, and it looks like we're starting to suffer from disruption and low ammo. And this guy's still disrupted, man. He's been a disappointment. These Einsatz guys have proven to be particularly gnarly. Oh, we've got one disrupted here, so that's something. Low ammo. All that effort to get them there, and they end up being low on ammo. So there you go. So on foot. Our Americans have a toehold on the eastern side of the canal as well. So we have a lot to look forward to, and the battle has just started, so I hope you're finding Venraij an interesting, if different battle. Normally play Eastern Front battles where you're handling the Germans and the Russians, who are much more ruthless. I think with Western armies you have to be a little bit less so. You have to sort of try and look after your people a little bit more, I think. So we'll see how this battle progresses in the coming turns, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.